Hello everyone, this is Arturelia Film Room Reviews. I'm Arturo. Today with me I have Sin's Corner. Today we're going to be reviewing Star Wars Episode 1. Now if you notice, my beard is a bit of a mess. I forgot about shaving the whole thing off.
Just a bit.
Huh?
Just a bit.
So yeah, you may be very distracted with all this. I know I look like what do they call those people that just maybe toothpaste?
I don't know. You're very like one side. Oh my god.
I'll just blame I'll just blame the clones for this.
Okay, well yeah, the clones.
Yeah.
Blame them. They're easy.
So
Easy
episode
targets.
1, technically Star Wars came out of order. Episode
knows.
1 came out in 1999, and my mom remembers how big of a deal it was.
Oh gosh, it was a huge deal. I remember people camping out for weeks, if not months, to get a ticket because it was the first time since, I think, Return of the Jedi had come out in '83.
Yeah, that was the last
83?
time. Mm-hmm.
It was a huge deal. George Lucas was coming back. He was going to tell the origin story of, Anakin Skywalker / Darth Vader, and it was a big, big deal.
However, did it live up to its expectations? Well, that's why you're here. Today we're going to be reviewing episode 1. So let's go. So the story is, it's set like there's these two Jedis that are going to like have a negotiation between this trade federation. So there's some political stuff.
Yeah.
I think they think the Galactic Republic is being unfair to the trade or something.
Something like that. There's all this. There's political stuff going on, and they go and attack Naboo.
Yeah, they invade Naboo and basically block it off.
Something like that.
But behind the scenes, there's a Sith. You don't know who Sith it is. Let's just say he's manipulating some of the stuff.
What do you mean you don't know who Sith?
Well, at this point, people don't know who Sith. You don't know who it is. I mean, now most people that have seen the original trilogy would know who it is. Yes. But this is kind of like the first time technically the first time you see him doing his thing that leads to the New Hope and yada yada yada. So two Jedis, Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan Kenobi, young Obi-Wan Kenobi, go to this ship to negotiate. However, there is no negotiation because the Sith is an asshole, and he wants
There's no negotiation with the Sith. They don't believe in that sort of thing.
And see, the thing is, what's interesting is that the Trade Federation, they have some political reasons why they're doing. I guess kind of similar to our Civil War, but the problem is the Sith is using them for their benefits.
Yeah, they're manipulating. They manipulate.
Anybody
they can, they will manipulate to get what they want.
So with this game, the Jedi almost get killed because they try to kill them. So no negotiations, and they escape into Naboo, and they meet Jar Jar Binks, one of the characters that most people hate. But we'll get to him in a sec. So as the plot goes on, they go to Naboo where the Queen doesn't like what's going on with the Trade Federation literally blocking their communication from everywhere else. So they basically take over. And so the Jedi have to, they escape and the Queen wants to go to Coruscant to work something out.
Do her political stuff, yeah.
But since their ship was kind of damaged, they have to go to Tatooine, and that's where they meet Anakin Skywalker. Right. I don't want to go into more plot than that, other than
in case anybody hasn't
seen it. Let's just say this is an origin story of Anakin and his lover in the future. But the film itself, I mean, in all honesty, the editing wasn't too bad. Some stuff didn't look awful. I mean, there are points where the CGI kind of the way it blended in with certain things maybe could have been cleaned up a little bit.
I feel like it doesn't hold up very well. I mean, at the time, I think it was probably kind of a big deal because this was back in '99.
Yeah.
But it feels like I was telling you today when we were watching A New Hope with the kids, the way they did New Hope looks really crisp and clear. And when we watched Phantom Menace yesterday.
Yeah.
It looked all fuzzy. It didn't look sharp and crisp, and I don't know if it was my player or the discs.
Well, I mean, there's some fuzziness a little bit in A New Hope because they had to work around some of the CGI.
Yeah, but I mean,
but overall,
it was like this the whole way.
It was, yeah.
To me, it seemed like it was, and I was like, I did not remember it being that subpar.
Did like the film? It's like how it looked. I mean, I don't think it looked awful. I think some of it holds out. Holds up today. It's just something. Maybe some scenes weren't.
Well,
as
the
good.
Digital animation of Jar Jar that doesn't look great.
I mean, to me it didn't look too bad. Like maybe when he's talking with the others, maybe not bad. It's when he's maybe moving, and then with the droids, they looked fine to me.
Well, the droids, they looked okay, but they were robotic creatures.
Yeah.
You know, Jar Jar is
it's supposed to be a life form.
Yeah, exactly. So. You know, that's a little different.
Some stuff looked fine to me. Some of the ships. I mean, yeah, like I said, when you blend in some of the action with the ships, then it's kind of a little off. Mm-hmm. But, you know, what could you do? It was 1999. The characters, we follow Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan, but mostly this is an Anakin story. A lot of people say Obi-Wan should have, like, had more time to understand his character a little bit.
More time to understand Anakin?
No, Obi-Wan, like... A little more screen time with him, his journey. Which I feel like maybe they should have done that, but this was technically Anakin's story.
Yeah, this was not Obi-Wan's story. It was Anakin's. All of the trilogies have been Anakin's story.
Basically his family. Yeah. Qui-Gon Jinn, he just seems like the wise Jedi.
He was.
Yeah, like very wise. He was very smart with how he manipulated like certain things.
He was very optimistic. Others sensed a problem with Anakin, but he had confidence and faith in Anakin that Anakin would end up on the right path.
Mm-hmm.
And then, then it was left up to Obi-Wan to help finish guiding him.
Yeah.
So you could argue like, well, where did things go wrong? Did they go wrong with Obi-Wan? Did they go wrong in any way with Qui-Gon? But Qui-Gon didn't have a lot of time with him.
No.
You know, in this
he
movie...
sensed something, though. I mean, obviously, down the road... Maybe... Well, like I was telling my mom in this film, so there's some Christianity kind of involved. Symbolism. Yeah. You could look at it this way, like... Maybe you need a bit of yin and yang in life, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that was the point. Maybe, if everybody has seen most of the stuff...
He was supposed to bring balance to the Force.
Maybe he needed to do some bad to end up changing...
do some yin to get some yang. Or whatever. I don't know what the difference is between the two, but you know what I mean.
Well, yeah, I think yin is light, yang is dark.
Okay, well, he did bring about balance eventually.
Yeah.
It just didn't go the way you would have expected.
And maybe it was a twisted way.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same with Hitler doing all these awful things. But then you see some of the accomplishments he did kind of made some stuff kind of better for certain...
What?
Like, maybe technology, some stuff. I mean, I'm not saying...
Well, there's a comedian that, his name is Louis C.K., and I did a reaction to one of his routines called Of Course But Maybe. And he was basically bringing up, certain situations, but then there's this, like, of course... What was it he said? Of course, slavery was bad. But maybe if it hadn't been for that, we wouldn't have this, advanced, more advanced like society and achievements and technological advancements that we have today. I mean, he was trying to basically, it's like...
It's not that he's justifying the slavery. He's just saying without most of that, it's the same...
A lot of this good and bad stuff, it's in this constant balance with
yin
each
and
other.
yang.
And a lot of good things come about because of some terrible things.
Like, example, Hitler. We all hate him. He did bad things, but...
Yeah, I mentioned that in my video.
When you think about some of the stuff, technically help us get people up to the moon.
Because of the technology race, the space war, and all that, the space race.
I'm not saying, though, don't get the wrong idea, but there are people that are triggered by that.
Yeah, but you shouldn't have to qualify that. Everybody should understand that you're not saying.
So look at Anakin in that perspective. Probably that's what had to happen for him
for him to come around to do what he did.
Because, well...
He took a long-ass backward dark journey to get there.
Yeah, so Anakin, you know, people would say he may be a little bit of a Mary Sue, knowing all these technological things, unless that's just the Force. Yeah, you could say that's a little bit of a Mary Sue, unless he learned that.
That's only if you think Mary Sues are only about overpowered. Being overpowered, which they're not really.
Like, he's not really overpowered. He just has a bit of more knowledge than most people. Most people are born with that.
He's a child prodigy.
Yeah.
Is what he is. Which there are children who are like that.
Yeah, I did see a video of this one kid that was kind of born with that.
It's crazy.
But...
It's amazing. Crazy in a good way.
I can't really say much except that Anakin built C-3PO and knows a lot about technology. He can fly a ship.
He's a good pilot.
Yeah. I mean, you get some hints of how he knows a little bit of stuff. But people may look at that and say that's just like a Rey. You know? Like a Rey.
Yeah, but his journey is not like Rey's journey. His journey is much more complicated.
There are reasons why he wants to do these things. It's because he wants to save his mom. Rey, what did she have? She thinks it's right. She wants to do the right thing, which it's understandable. Everybody wants to do the right thing. She had
no real skin in the game.
Yeah.
There's no compelling storyline revolving around Rey and herself as an individual. There's just not. Yeah. But with Anakin, and he people could argue that he's Mary Sue-ish in Phantom Menace.
A little bit.
Only if you're going to argue with respect to how overpowered he is. Yeah. But he's not liked by everybody. The other Jedi do not they don't trust him. They can sense the darkness in him. And then in episode 2, that darkness becomes more obvious. And then in episode 3 is his complete downfall to the dark side.
I guess you could say maybe Mary Sue as the bad guy. Sort of. Don't you think?
Maybe, but then he turned around and did the right thing in the end. So, I mean,
I don't know. Darth Vader has some flaws. Like, he could get mad pretty quickly. Like, kill his own officers.
And certainly not everybody likes him. Not even all the people that he worked with as Darth Vader liked him.
The Imperial officers, like, if you screwed up once.
They didn't really like him.
But anyways, yeah, we're jumping way into the timeline.
I know, we're going into all these spoiler territories for anyone under a rock that hasn't seen it.
Yeah, and Padme, well, she's the queen. She wants to do the right thing for her people. Her people are dying because the Federation is cut supplies, so nobody's getting any food. And so she wants to go and, get the Republic to help. And they kind of aren't really having it unless there's a certain person on stage to do that. And we all know who that is. Yeah. It's Palpatine. Mm-hmm. Nice and collective man.
He seems nice, calm, and collected, but he's very
he's hiding. We all know. Well, if people haven't known. Let's just say he's hiding something, but I know Matt Ayer says, what did he do wrong? What did he do wrong? Matt Ayer would say that.
Matt Ayer's a little bit messed up. He's just trying to play devil's advocate, right? But what he did wrong is that he was a dictator. That's what he did wrong.
He became basically the Fuhrer.
That's what he... I mean, that was what he... He's a...
Let's not... Yeah.
Okay, just put a spoiler warning.
He's a Sith! Yeah.
Right, so that's what he's doing wrong. He's of the dark. He's the dark side.
He's like one of the last.
He's not a good guy.
Yeah. Overall, I like the action scenes in the movie. They're not bad. Those are the best. Those are the best parts about the film.
Wars.
Yeah. I like the Naboo battle. I like the battle between Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon Jinn, and Darth Maul. And Darth Maul is another character that's an apprentice. But, Darth Maul, he's just the typical guy that kind of just follows his master to do bad things. That's basically it. Yeah, but then again, in the Clone Wars...
He's got an impressive lightsaber.
Yeah. I will say, though, even though this was the first time you see him, it wouldn't be later until the Clone Wars that we get more details about his character. Yeah. He's very... I don't want to... You know what? I got to stop there. We could get to Clone Wars another time. Let's just say there's more depth for his character in the future. In here, not much. You're not gonna get much. He's just
he's just the thug. He's the heavy.
He's like, okay, I'm gonna do something bad.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
Yeah. But,
let's see. Now, as for our enjoyment, I mean, I enjoyed it for what it was, but there are obviously some issues. Jar Jar with his goofiness in some scenes. I feel like it was overdone.
A little much. Yeah. It was, after a while, it was like, oh, just die already. You know? I mean,
some of his clumsiness, though, there's a rumor. Some of his
clumsiness helped. There's rumors like it was all on purpose.
Well, because there's a guy that literally, you know, when he had that droid stuck to his foot,
and he had the gun.
There's a move that move is actually some sort of move that the people in Asia do. That's kind of like a manipulative fight.
Really?
Yeah. And so
when he was flinging it around,
yeah, that's actually a real move.
Well, maybe he's a little bit deeper than we think.
But they're thinking he may be the Sith.
Yeah, I've heard that.
The sad part about the actor, though, is that his reputation didn't do well.
And it wasn't his fault.
I know the guy, Shaun of the Dead guy. He kind of said some things that he feels bad for now.
Oh, about Jar Jar?
About the guy that played Jar Jar.
Yeah. I
feel like that's maybe the downside about Jar Jar's character, is that it kind of didn't fit well with it.
I can't take him very seriously. I don't know. He does get annoying after a while.
He wants to do good. He literally got a whole army together, but overall he's more of like this kid character for, kids to have a laugh at, you know? His clumsiness does save the day at points, but it's clumsiness.
Yeah.
So
it's just like
Jar Jar's my least favorite character.
Well,
maybe it didn't annoy me as much as most people, but I understand why people are annoyed.
Okay, so for me, the weakest parts about this movie was obviously Jar Jar Binks. That's kind of a given, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just not going to include. But the weakest part of this movie was the kid who played Anakin. He wasn't very good of an actor.
Mm-hmm.
He
had moments,
but he visually looked like what Anakin grows up to look like. Yeah, Hayden Christensen, but he was one of the weaker links in the movie, and also Natalie Portman was just awful.
Well, you don't like Natalie.
I don't like her anyway, but her acting in here was terrible. Now people can say, well, it's not really the fault of the actors because the writing is so bad. George Lucas doesn't do good dialogue writing and all that, but it just. I felt like Ewan McGregor did a decent enough job, and Liam Neeson did a decent enough job, and they had the same writer.
Didn't she improve in episode 2 a little bit?
In episode 2.
Maybe a little bit better.
Episode 2 and 3, yeah, probably, because there felt like there was...
more connection to, like, what, Well, we don't want to get into in more depth than that.
I think it was just her role as Queen, that fake voice that she put on when she was talking as the Queen.
Mm-hmm.
That's not how she talked when she was talking to Anakin, just she and Anakin talking.
Mm-hmm.
And then she had this weird, fake, strange, sort of robotic, British type voice she was doing, and I don't know, it didn't work for me. But then, also I just don't
she doesn't like.
So I just.
What about the mom? I know there was Anakin's mom.
The mom was okay.
Yeah, like
she did all right.
She seemed like a caring mother.
Mm-hmm.
There is one spoiler. I'll put it note. It's just that, Anakin is kind of like the Jesus Christ figure. No dad, nothing.
Yeah, Immaculate Conception.
Now, like I said, there could be some supernatural stuff with that, but on the other hand, I've heard from a comic that there's a Sith that kind of did something with magic to kind of get her
to create.
Yeah, maybe like secretly, and she didn't even know, I think.
Okay. Then a twisted form of the Jesus Christ story, because Anakin, his pathway took him in a completely opposite direction.
But maybe the good in his mom kind of also had some light in him.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. You could look at this film, break it down, and it can make a little more sense than how, when you watch it.
I certainly appreciate it more than I did the first time I saw it.
I heard nothing, but it wasn't as good.
Well, it's not.
And, it wasn't, it's...
I did like it a little bit more.
Yeah. Basically, our enjoyment is, I enjoyed it for what it was. I don't think it's as good as the other prequel films, or obviously
I liked 2 and 3 better.
But, this is kind of a start for that whole genre. There are some...
Also, to me, it was just a little weird, because Padme's older than Anakin by I don't know how many years. And
I think Anakin is 9 and Padme's 14.
Yeah, so 5 years, which as they grow into adulthood, it's not that extreme of a difference. But to see them and knowing that they were going to be the Romeo and Juliet type lovers of the other films, it was just kind of weird to me. To see, there was no romance between them in this movie, but you knew that was what was going to come later, and so it just kind of, I don't know, was a little bit She just seems so much older than him. He was just this little child.
I mean, both of them were kind of smart.
Yeah, they both were.
So they kind of had that chemistry together.
I think she looked on him as like a little brother.
Yeah.
And maybe he obviously felt more for her because he's this younger kid and she's this older, supposedly, beautiful female, and he, had attraction for her that way. There's no real evidence of that in the first one. They talk about how they care for each other, but
it didn't go into anything until later.
That, yeah, you could see that as that they just are fond of each other, kind of like a sibling type of fondness. And
until
of course,
adulthood.
It's the second movie where they start to form the romantic relationship because they're both older, or he's much older.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out if I either like the little cameos of C-3PO being made by Anakin. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know. That feels like a fan service? Yeah, and then also R2-D2 like being in there, fan service maybe. But I don't know.
They're trying to tie things together,
Because the other thing is, if you connect the other trilogy, there was that in Episode 5, C-3PO's right there behind Chewbacca, and Darth Vader's right there, unless the darkness just consumed him, like what you said, and he couldn't
tell that was him.
Yeah, or just didn't
those
really
are those
think much about it.
Plot hole issues and it was George Lucas that wrote it too.
Well, see, here's the thing: they did erase C-3PO and R2-D2's memory right after Episode 3, so they don't remember.
But you would think that they would have known, that he would have known.
Unless he was maybe he thought he was a different robot. Because
if the memory,
because here's the thing: if you noticed, like in Episode 2, C-3PO's model looked like the armor the stuff he had was a little different. Then it got a little bit nicer in Episode 3, and then it looked kind of a little dirty in Episode 4.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Well, there are other droids
that look like him. So maybe he thinks,
But he sounds the same.
Yeah.
So you would think that would be a clue. Did Darth Vader ever hear him talk in the other movies, the originals?
No, I think just Episode 5.
He did talk in front of him in Episode 5.
When they put Han in the thing. A little bit of a thing there.
Yeah.
Phantom Menace, I mean, it was a start to Star Wars, like to lead up to where everything went downhill for everybody. I still think Episode 2 is better.
Oh yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. It's not that
rated the same on IMDb.
Yeah.
I think they both have like a 6.5.
I don't think it's as bad as a film as most people are saying, but I understand the issues, and there are some issues. I mean, if you want to watch it in order, then yeah, I mean, you'll still have fun watching it. I mean, it's a Star Wars movie. It's just that, what we just explained, there's some of that stuff in the film that it's going to probably make you feel like, No. I enjoyed it, but I think I would give it like a 6. It's okay.
Yeah, before I rewatched it, I said 5. And then after I watched it, I was like, I don't know, maybe a 6. So maybe between a 5 and a 6, maybe a 5.5 to 6.
So 5.5 to you out of 10?
No,
I would give it a 6.
As a 6.5.
No, just a 6. I think 6 out of 10. Like, it's okay. There's some good elements in here.
Yeah.
But the rest is not shattered. It's just kind of overshadowed by some of the stuff like from the plot with Jar Jar and stuff like that. But I mean,
it certainly is. It's my least favorite of all the trilogies, but I'm not counting the new trilogy as canon.
Yeah.
So when I say the trilogies, I'm not talking about. When I say trilogies, I'm talking about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Yeah. It's my least favorite of the trilogies.
I would rather watch this though over the new trilogy.
Yeah. So
because
finish that trilogy.
I mean, you'll have some fun with it. There's some good stuff, like the pod racing was pretty good.
Yeah.
But and the action scenes too, and the fight scenes, and all that. That's all Star Wars.
Episode 2.
Well, I guess yeah.
And Episode 3 and 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to find something kind of similar to like a prequel to something.
Oh.
The Thing.
Yeah, the thing that was made in the.
The Thing. 2011.
2011. That's a prequel, obviously. I mean, okay, so you're getting way on out there as far as prequels.
I mean, I could do the episode 2,
just
3,
prequels
4.
in general.
2, 3, and obviously better. And 3 is my favorite.
Mm-hmm. Do a review.
And then 4, 5, and 6, and then you could go with Rogue One.
Which is okay. So 1, 2, 3, Rogue One, 4, 5, 6.
The Clone Wars.
Oh, yeah.
But there's 2 versions. There's the animated one, and then there's the 3D one. 3D one shows more of the time period of the Clone Wars, builds up Anakin.
Yeah, the animated one's short.
Yeah, it's shorter.
Which I never saw that all the way.
It ties into episode 3 pretty well, like how Grievous got his lung problem. In the 3D one, though, you have a longer period of time with the Clone Wars. You get to see Anakin grow and actually try to train his own apprentice. Mm-hmm. You get Obi-Wan. You get his relationship with Padme. You get just the whole conflict that went on, but behind the scenes you also have, the bad guy doing his little manipulation.
It was a really good series. I wouldn't mind watching it again. I like it.
It ties a lot of some loose ends, especially Rogue One, definitely.
Yeah.
And Rogue One has a tie-in with the Clone Wars, and then has the tie-in to New Hope, which I thought was pretty cool. Anyways, that's about it. That's all I can think of. You could check my mom react to stuff, She does a lot of reaction.
Review,
she got rats crawling all over her because,
Someone said, what was it? Someone said, "Oh, don't look now, but there's cat food on your shoulder." Okay. And then someone's like, I'm totally paraphrasing, but it was something about how I was just watching, and all of a sudden I saw this ugly tale of bubonic plague on your shoulder or something like that. It's like, aw. They're not ugly.
Why not I just pull why not put their face right in front of the camera and pull their face back and pull those ears all the way like that? Yeah, there's some rats in Star Wars. Some. They're not as cute.
Where are they in Star Wars?
They appear in certain places. I don't know. They look different. I know in Fallen Order, which is actually set after episode 3.
Which I haven't seen, so...
They're pretty...
no, that's the game.
That's the game, yeah, but they're pretty ugly.
Oh, well.
They're pretty ugly. They could actually kill a stormtrooper because they're so bad at aiming.
Do they kill a stormtrooper in there?
See, I kept dying because it's really hard. I put it on kind of a hard difficulty.
Uh-huh.
There's a scout trooper. I could either come up and attack him, but then there's these 2 rat alien creatures that kind of come out of the ground, and you could fight them too. But there was one point where I kind of just sat there, and scout trooper, and that thing came out and just kicked him off of the cliff. Like, ah!
That's funny.